wish I had laid by an annual sum to bribe worthless young men to marry my daughters, but I have not, I confess. The reason was, of course, I intended to father a son. The son would inherit the estate, no part of which would be entailed away, so providing for my widow and any other children. By the time your mother and I had abandoned hope of producing an heir, it seemed a little late to begin saving. I should have taken better care of you all. The satisfaction of prevailing upon one of the most worthless young men in Britain might then have rested in its proper place. As it is, the thing is done with extraordinary little inconvenience to myself. When you take into account what I shall save on Lydia's board and pocket allowance, I'm scarcely £10 a year worse off. I'm heartily ashamed of myself, Lizzie. But don't despair. It'll pass. And no doubt more quickly than it should.
Hay Park might do, if the Goldings would quit it. Or the great house at Stoke, if the drawing rooms were larger.
But Ashworth is too far off.
Oh, not Purvis Lodge. The attics there are dreadful.
Mrs. Bennet, before you take any or all of these houses...
To your son and daughter.
Let us come to a right understanding. Into one house in the neighbourhood, they shall never have admittance.
I will not encourage the impudence of either by ever receiving them here at Longbourn. And further, I will not advance a guinea for clothes.
We are disgraced.
I will not move. I'm fixed upon it.
I am now most heartily sorry that in the distress of the moment I made Mr. Darcy acquainted with our fears for Lydia. The matter would have been better concealed, for though there are few people on whose secrecy I could more confidently depend, there is no one whose knowledge of a sister's frailty could mortify me more.
Mr. Wickham is to resign from the militia and go into a northern regiment. Happily, there are still some among his former friends who are willing to assist him in purchasing a commission. I have written to Colonel Forster to request that he will satisfy Mr. Wickham's creditors in Brighton, for which I have pledged myself.
Perhaps you will be so good as to do the same for his creditors in Meryton, of whom I enclose a list according to his information. I hope at least he has not deceived us. Let us all hope so. As soon as they are married, they will journey directly to join his regiment in Newcastle, unless they are first invited to Longbourn.
She's so fond of Mrs. Forster and now to be sent away. It will be quite shocking for her. And there's several of the young men, too, who she likes very much and will surely miss.
These northern officers may not be quite so pleasant.
You will not admit her. Well, it is insupportable. Inconceivable.
For the sake of Lydia's feelings and consequence, sir, her marriage should be noticed by her parents.
Well, Lydia is our sister, sir, and your daughter. And our mother has much pleasure and pride in her company.
Very well.